Hey everyone, welcome to Revolution at Home. I'll be Coach Eric for today's Essentials class and discussing the topic of balance. So all of our exercises today are going to be targeting ways to improve your balance. Specifically, we're going to be talking today about how to get up and out of a chair with better balance and then initiating steps with better balance in all directions, side to side, forward, and backwards. A lot of times we move in all these different directions throughout the day. Typically, we move more forward with everything that we do, but oftentimes we have to sidestep every now and then, or we have to walk backwards or turn backwards like so. And those are oftentimes areas where we might feel more unsteady or more off balance. Stepping into the bathroom, having a conversation, or you forgot something and something behind you, you have to make those quick turns and reactions. And it's really important to practice stepping and being more mindfully aware how you step in these different planes of motion. So that's our focus today. Let's get right into it. All right. So for today's class, you're going to need a pretty firm wall where you can kind of put your back up to it, as well as a chair. Those are the only things you'll need for today. You can always add resistance to your hands with some hand weights or dumbbells to make things a little bit more challenging for your upper body. But today I am not going to be using any of those things. So we're going to be starting in your chair. All right. So sit to stands, standing up and out of a chair. This is a nice firm chair. Doesn't have any armrest on it. But this is something we hear from a lot of our clients is it's hard for me to get up off the couch. It's hard for me to get out of my chair. If I could just do that easier, I'd feel much, much more independent and much, much better. So the big key is when practicing this, practice functionally in places outside of this class where you feel like you need to improve your sit to stands the most. Where do you sit most often throughout the house? That's where you want to practice getting better. The lower the surface, the more cushy the surface, the harder it is to get out of. And then once you get out of it, more likely you are to be off balance. All right. So first and foremost, a sit to stand is a very good exercise that really addresses all of the muscles that help with your balance, your lower legs. Better balance comes from a lot of different areas. It comes from what you see, what you hear, what you touch and feel through your feet, and how strong your muscles are. Oh, one last thing, posture. That's immensely important as well. So all of these exercises are going to be built to help people with a variety of different neurological conditions. And it's really important that you're aware of what you're feeling as you're doing these exercises. So be mindfully aware throughout class today, okay? So our sit to stand is not going to be a basic sit to stand. It's going to be a sit to stand with a weight shift. Because traditionally, when you get up and out of a chair, you're always going somewhere, right? So we want to mimic that with the exercise. We want to be functional, all right? So find a good spot in your seat. When we're getting up and out of the chair, we want to be close to the edge. Your feet want to be shoulder width apart. Check your feet. Don't let them come too close together. All right. So you want your feet about hip to shoulder width apart. Those heels slightly tucked underneath your knees, behind your knees, I should say. And typically, if you have one leg that's stronger than the other, one foot might be farther back than the other. Try to keep both feet nice and even to make sure that we're using both legs symmetrically. All right. We don't want to have an imbalance from side to side. So feet shoulder width apart, your posture's up tall, you're at the edge of your seat. If you need to push off those armrests, go ahead and do so, but your goal is to kind of wean yourself off from doing that. So what I want you guys to do is pretend like there's a ball out in front of you that you're reaching forward to. I kind of relate this to diving off the diving blocks, where you're just learning how to dive into the pool, right? You kind of want to tip forward just enough so you kind of go into the water. But if you see what happens here, my butt slightly comes off the chair. And that's what you want to feel as you reach forward. That's why we tell you to do that. Reach forward, and then as soon as your butt's off the chair, boom, you stand right up. Okay? Then as we stand up, I want you to shift all the way to the right. Put your weight all the way onto the right leg, all the way to the left leg, and then slowly sit back down into the chair. Make sure your feet haven't moved. Make sure you're still right by the chair. All right? That's our sequence. We're going to do 10 of these all in a row. Okay, go at your own pace. Ready? And reach out. Big power up. I'm going to the right, back to the center, left, back to the center, and down. okay? When we're going through these exercises, we don't want to go fast. Speed will mask stability. We're working on building stability here, right? That's what balance is, better stability. Go slow. The faster you shift your weight, the faster you try to go to explode up out of that chair, or the faster you go to sit down, the more unstable you are, more prone to lose your balance and potentially fall. So be mindful, be powerful, but not too fast, okay? That was only number one. We have 9 more to go. Let's reach out. Power up, right, shift, left, shift, back to the center, and down. That's 2. Reach out, power up, right, back, left, back, and sit. There's 3. Reach out, power up, right, back, left, back, sit down. That's 4. Reach out, power up, right, back, left, back, and sit. That's number 4. That's number 5. Sorry, reach out, power up, right, shift a little bit more this time, left, shift a little bit more that time, all the way over, and back down. We're halfway home. Let's reach out, power up, reach right, left. Make sure your feet come down nice and wide as you get out of that weight shift. Don't let those feet come together. That was number 7. Reach all the way out, power up, reach right, reach left, and sit back down. There's 8. Reach out, power up, right, left, and down. 1 more to go. We're going to stay standing on this one. Reach out, power up, right, left, and stay standing. Very nice. Hopefully you got a little bit more comfortable as we did those sit-to-stands in getting your hips up and out of the chair. Your posture is a little bit taller at the top, and you were a little bit more comfortable in that weight shifting. A lot of times the second time around with these exercises goes a little bit better because these muscles are warmed up. So we'll come back to them. Let's find a spot along the wall. Okay, this is a pretty simple exercise that works on your posture and your hip mobility and your lower leg mobility. Posture plays a huge importance in your balance. All right. If you're going to stand up out of the chair and you only finish here, where's my head? Where's all my weight? My head is forward. My weight is on my toes. I'm going to be more prone to lose my balance going forward. Right. So what we want to do is work on correcting that positioning from your hips and your shoulders. The wall is the truth, right? It's hopefully a 90-degree angle from the floor all the way up through the wall. If you're standing up nice and tall, you should be able to stand right up against that wall, nice and straight, 90-degree angle, right? That's totally upright, it's totally erect. Harder to get to, but this is an exercise that should help with this. So I want your feet about 6 inches off the wall, okay? 6 inches to 10 inches or so, maybe a foot. Your hips are going to be up against the wall, so your butt's going to be resting against it, all right? This is simply a hip hinge, all right? Your hips are going to stay at the wall. You can tell my knees are slightly bent. And what we're going to do is just reach forward. So we're over-exaggerating that forward posture, right? We're over-exaggerating that forward posture and that forward lean. Your hips are back. And then what I want you to do is reaching those hands out to the front. And now you're going to thrust your hips off the wall and push your hands back to the wall. Okay? So your hips pull away, your hands push back. Okay? Let's try that again. Hips go back to the wall, hands go forward. Hips come up off the wall, hands go back to the wall. All right? So what do you feel there? You feel some opening up through your chest. You feel some tightening back behind your hips. Might make you feel a little unsteady. This is not a comfortable place to get to, right? But this position over-exaggerates that nice tall posture that we want to achieve when we get up and out of that chair. All right, let's do 5 more of these. You're going to drop your hips back, hands forward. Drive your hips up, squeeze your butt, Hands go back. Now look up toward the ceiling. Okay, where you gaze your eyes has a lot to do with your balance and your posture. Let's reach those hands forward, hips go back, and pull up nice and strong. Big exhale as you pull up. You got 3 more of these. Reach those hands back out to the front, hips back, pull up strong. Push your knees back, your hips forward, your eyes are up, your hands are trying to reach for that wall. Okay? Hips go back, hands forward, big power up. Okay, one more time. Reach those hands forward, hips go back, big power up, nice and tall. Beautiful. All right, hopefully that helps you feel a little more upright, a little more erect. All right, once we go to take a step, if you're not tall, you're going to feel off balance. If you're forward here and you go to take a step forward, you could lose your balance because you're too far forward on your toes. It might be harder to take that step because you're too far forward. Okay. Same goes if you're trying to take a step to the side. If you're flexed, you're not able to use a lot of the biggest muscles you have in your body and your hips. So pick yourself up tall. That exercise will help. All right. Now let's come back to like right by your chair is fine. Okay, I'm going to move this chair kind of over to the side so you can see me a little bit better. Now we're going to be going into a split stance. So after you stand up, after your posture is tall, we've already shifted our weight, right? That weight shift helps you clear one foot off the ground. So come back to that weight shift with me here, just rocking from side to side. Because what we're going to do now is actually go into what we call a split stance or taking a step forward, okay? So I'm going to take a step forward with my right foot first, okay? So my feet are staggered, right? The closer my feet are together, the harder it's going to be for the balance. You can challenge yourself a little bit more by doing it this way. Okay. If you need a little bit more assistance, get your feet a little bit wider in that split stance. All right. What I want is a little bend in your knees. Okay. We're just going to hold this position here and we're going to reach. So if some of you do our boxing classes, okay, or some of these classes we've done at home before, okay, we throw some punches, right? Those punches throw off our balance. So just start reaching, kind of get to know what you're feeling. Okay, where's your balance? Where's the majority of your weight? Let's kind of come back to that. When you have this split stance position, majority of your weight should be on that front leg. Okay, no matter if it's the strong leg, the weaker leg, when you're practicing balance, doesn't matter. We got to use both. You got to put, I'd say 80% of your pressure is on that forward leg. A lot of times one side's a little bit weaker than the other. That's probably your back leg right now, but that leg is your support leg. Okay. All of your stability as you take a step and you're reaching for something, that tends to be what throws our balance off, right? All that stability comes from your hips and your torso. So we're going to practice these rotations nice and slow. So if you reach out to the front, straight out to the front, that's going to be a little bit easier. Okay? Holding that position, if that's hard enough, just work with that. Have something to hold on to if you need to. Okay? So reaching out to the front is going to be relatively easy. Okay, if you need to make it more of a challenge, you can cross your midline. So taking one hand and cross over like in front of the other shoulder. All right, that's going to require a little bit more balance. Now, as you can see, I'm rotating my shoulders, but my hips, my shoulders are staying over my hips. We don't want to be leaning forward as you reach forward, and then you're going to be too far forward on that forward leg. Your weight should be here, but your torso and your head should be stacked over your hips. That's what helps you maintain that center of gravity and that center of balance. Again, why posture really, really important. Okay, we're still on that same leg. See if we can do a few more reaches. Let's go 5 more reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Bring that leg back and shake it out a little bit. Now I'm going to take a big step forward or a medium step forward with my left leg. Now, obviously, the length of that step forward is going to impose some more difficulty or less difficulty with your balance. The longer the step, the harder it's going to be to balance. The shorter the step, the easier to maintain. So kind of get a good gauge on where you are specifically right now, what's going to challenge you the most, okay, within safety comfort zones. I always tell our clients we can't change your balance if we don't challenge your balance. But you never want to challenge your balance so much that we risk falling. So make sure you have a chair nearby with any of these exercises if you need them. All right. So we're in that split stance. Hopefully you've already started with some of those reaches out to the front. Assess how that feels. Now this leg might be the one that's a little bit weaker, right? Might be a little bit more challenging. But that's the one we need to make more opportunity with, right? Now let's work on a little bit of a rotational reach from side to side. Okay, reach from side to side. Now guys, these are pretty easy things you can do with no equipment, right? These could be easy check-in points throughout the day. If you really struggle with your balance, I suggest hitting up some of these exercises every day. Okay, just takes 15 minutes or so. Now, the faster those punches, you might feel a little bit more, this is a little bit easier, right? Okay, if you're punching really, really fast, but if you reach and you hold the position, that's probably a little bit harder, right? If you reach and you hold, that's going to throw your balance off a little bit more, especially as you go into a twist from side to side, right? You hold those positions, it forces your muscles to contract longer, hold your stability longer, but that's what really helps with balance, okay? Let's do 2 more reaches to each side. Very good. If any of you guys have done Tai Chi before or yoga, it's a lot of holding positions, mindful poses, big base of support, right? Same rules apply here, okay? Same thing applies. Now, let's go back to the beginning of all these exercises. Let's go through them one more time. So we're going to start in our chair. Quiz, where do we need to be? Where do we sit on that chair to get up better? Yep, toward the edge of that seat. So scoot yourself forward. So you're not falling off the front of the chair, but you're close. All right. Those feet are tucked underneath your knees. All right. And those feet are about shoulder width apart. That's a good, solid base of support as we go to stand. We're going to stand up and we're rocking from right to left after you stand up. Think about all of these things that we've just practiced. All right. Up against that wall, we're emphasizing that posture up tall. So let's find that position from here as we go to stand up. We got 10 of these. All right, ready? Let's reach forward, big power up, right, left, and down. Okay, big power up, right, left, and back down. That's number 2. Reach out. Power up, right, left, that's 3. As you can see, I reach my hands out to the front as I sit down. That helps control your balance as you sit. Okay, reach out, power up, big weight shift to the right, big shift to the left, and back down. That's 3. Big power up, right, left, that's 4. Reach out, power up, right, left, that's 5. Reach out, power up, right, left, there's 6. Very, very nice. Let's go. Reach out, power up, right, left, there's 7. As we get tired, that reach forward, always more important. It helps get your butt out of that chair. Ready? Let's go. Reach out. Power up. Right. Left. That's number 8. Let's reach out. Power up. Right. Left. That's 9. We're staying up top on this one. Reach out. Power up. Right. Left. That's 10. Nice job, you guys. You're doing great. You just did 20 sit-to-stands. All right? Half of today's quota. Maybe more. Keep going. All right? Let's get up against the wall. All right? Now, if that last one was easy, the farther you walk your feet away from the wall, the harder it is to get your hips off the wall. Okay? You also need longer arms because you gotta continue to reach back for the wall. But let's walk those feet out maybe a couple more inches farther than you did the first time. All right. So again, to get yourself off the wall, if it's hard to initiate that hip extension. It's the same hip extension that helps you get out of that chair, right? We want to reach those hands out to the front, but that helps get your butt off the bench or off the wall. And then as you stand up, you just got to pull it forward, right? So we have 10 of these. Let's reach the hips back. Hands go forward and power up. That's 1. Butt goes back, hands go forward, touch the wall. Power up. 2, pause there, touch the wall with the hands. Okay, so you alternate the hands to hips, touch. Okay, let's reach the hips back, hands forward, and power up. Hands go back to the wall. There's 3. Back, up. There's 4. Back, up. There's 5. Reach back with the hips. Power up with those arms and hips. There's 6. Reach back. Hips touch the wall. Big power up. That's 7. Reach back. Big power up. 8. Reach back. Big power up. 9. Reach back. Big power up. That's 10. Very, very nice. Excellent job, everyone. Let's come back to our chair. We're going to finish up by putting all of this together, right? The last exercise we did was that split stance with a reach. Well, as you go to stand up, again, you're always moving somewhere, which is the importance of that rock, because as I rock to my right leg, I'm stepping with my left. Down in my split stance. Now we're going to reach to open the door, okay? And pull it open. And then we're going to step back, okay? So our sequence here. We're going to stand up, we're going to alternate our steps, and then we're going to reach forward like we're grabbing something. We'll step back and sit back down, okay? We'll take the first couple nice and slow. All right, go, bear with me here. Okay, we're stepping forward with that left leg first. All right, so same power up. Let's practice that to start. Let's reach out, power up. I'm going to shift my weight to my right leg. So I can take a left step. Ready? Shift and step with the left. Now reach, pull back, make sure that chair is there, and have a seat. Okay? Now we're going to go with that right leg forward. Reach forward, power up, shift to my left, big step forward, reach, pull it back towards your body. Then step back, have a seat, okay? Reach out, power up, stepping with the left leg, reach, hold that position, and back, have a seat. Big stand up, step with the right, hold your balance, reach, and back. We got one more on each side, folks. Have a seat. Big stand up. Big step left. Reach. And back. And down. Big power up. Right step. Reach. And back. Great job, you guys. Now, some of these may have not seemed like traditional balance exercises you guys may have done before. Probably exercises you have done before, but a lot of the strength exercises we do really help with your balance. Not a huge, we don't have our clients too much practicing to stand on one leg. Good for some hip stability, but we rarely have to do that for a prolonged period of time. There are better ways to strengthen those muscles, like the exercises we're doing today. We need to learn how to move our body more functionally, more safely, more confidently, like the things that you did today. I hope this helps you kind of understand how you can be better balanced with these particular movements. And future videos will carry over some of these balance principles into other aspects of daily life. So thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Think big, move strong, never quit. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.